the whole Peterka thing. How do you think this ends?
You know what? The conclusion that I drew in my head that there were reports that the Sabres would match any offer sheet that was thrown at JJ Peterka. Do you just hope for the offer sheet and then put this to bed for the foreseeable future?
I feel like if it gets to an offer sheet, it's going to be more than we'd want to pay him. Am I wrong?
I don't think anyone's paying more than 8.5.
I don't know. I feel like the offer sheet conversation is so kind of backwards. I feel like now that people think that teams have cap space, it encourages teams to do more, and I feel like it's kind of the opposite. Like that's the only reason we saw the St. Louis Blues offer sheet last year. It's because Edmonton had no cap space. It's kind of like what team like what's your limit on Peterka that a team says or that a team offers him?
Anything over 8.5, probably.
I think that's fair. I would say 8.5.
I need to find the
compensation
exact
breakdown.
Tiers.
What the compensation would be.
But the thing is with me, it's just like I want this guy on the wing. I want this guy playing for our team. We drafted this guy. Like these conversations shouldn't be happening. And I guess I don't know. It's like some people will call him a diva. Some people will say the organization hasn't done enough for him. The answer will lie. The answer will lie somewhere in the middle. Don't get me wrong.
You can't call him a diva.
I know he's not
wanting
a diva.
his money.
Exactly, he wants his money. Here's the thing, though. He's a one-dimensional play. Like there's
one-dimensional is really this. It feels a little bit like the Skinner conversation.
It's not as bad as Skinner.
I feel like what I mean by that is. I think you underrate how important he is to their offense.
No, I'm not, because I said there's room for his game to improve because he's so young and he already has this great offensive prowess to him. I think you need to get this done now.
I guess what I meant is JP is much more at peace with this scenario ending up in a trade.
I probably definitely am underrating him nowadays. I would agree with that.
I mean, like, I would trade him.
The reason people are upset is because he's been in the league, or for the people who have, there aren't too many people who are really upset with him, but he's only been in the league 3 years, and he's either him or his agent is already causing a ruckus, which I don't blame him. The Sabres suck, so if he doesn't want to be here, like,
I don't think he's asking for what not every player at this point, but like what every core player had gotten to this point in terms of contract value. I mean, his first season, before he even plays his first NHL game, fucking Matthias Samuelsson gets a 7-year extension for $4.2 million per year. And then obviously Tage Thompson had gotten one, and 2/3 of the way through his rookie season, Dylan Cousins was rewarded for having a breakout year.
Yeah, this is true.
He sees all of that, and he has his own breakout year in 23-24, and the GM of his team, the GM is saying the next wave of extensions are coming up. That's why we need to save money. And I don't even think they talked to his agent. I don't think Adams ever sat down with Alan Walsh.
It's crazy. Going back to that tweet that JP sent about the divorce and stuff. It's like empty promises. It's like where are these extensions? Like I guess we'll see come July 1st. But like there's no indication this is getting done. Like soon.
Well, I also had a theory that I proposed to you guys, and I think it doesn't. It's not a major. It wouldn't be a major factor. I don't think so. I think it's just like another thing to go along with the frustration. Is if anybody remembers, JJ Peterka basically made the team in 2021. Like he had a really solid preseason that fall. It wasn't like Zach Benson level where he couldn't, you couldn't leave him off the roster, but it was good enough to the point where, okay, this guy, he's better than Drake Kujula. He's better than John Hayden. Like he can play on this roster and be a pretty decent contributor right away, but Granato said it was for the purpose of his development. He's going to spend the year in the AHL, and was the correct decision. But also, need I remind you, I mean, he got called up for 2 games that season, and that was it. And I remember at the deadline that year, we all expected him and Jack Quinn to be on the team for the stretch run. They didn't do that. They kept them down there, and they didn't end up burning the first year off their entry-level deal until 22-23. And my point in all of this is that had Peterka played on the roster that year, or if he had even played 10 games that season, he would have been due a contract in last summer. Last summer was the summer that he arguably should have been paid. And to not even extend a conversation to him, he might have felt disrespected. Because that was the summer he probably was owed. In his mind, he might have thought, I'm a little bit owed money. At least I'm owed the conversation. And you also said that, you were going to extend myself and, Jack Quinn and, Levi, and that didn't happen. And every young player under the sun, it felt like, was being extended last summer. Dylan Gunther signed for like a 7x7. Matty Beniers signed a 7x7. And to not even open the conversation, it's led them to this point where the trade talks, they're not growing exponentially, but they are growing. I mean, we're at a different stage right now, I think. I think the Sabres are clearly a little bit more open to dealing him than they were before.
It's completely fair. And it's like, I feel like no matter what, he's probably not getting like a long-term contract now. Like, it could just be like a bridge deal, and that could get us in another. I was just gonna say, it could get us in another Sam Reinhart situation, which I don't think is a ceiling to be Sam Reinhart, but it's just kind of similar situations. I think someone said this on WGR today. I don't know if it was Sabres Live or if it was Schulp and the Bulldog, but they were saying how this will be a test of Adam saying, we want players who want to be here. If Peterka's truly unhappy and then he doesn't want to be here, well, then trade him. But if you're going to say, we want players who want to play here, and then say, oh, deal with it, like you're going to play here, then it'll just
force him at gunpoint.
It'll just be interesting. Like, I don't know. Like, I like Peterka. I just think my gut feeling is that he's going to get moved. If there was already rumors of stuff happening last season, at last deadline, that, there's teams calling about him, we didn't want to trade him, but, there was already rumors. I just felt like that was groundwork for what might happen this offseason or even going into next year. If we suck next year and he signs a bridge deal, he's going to ask for a trade. Or it might just be more his agent. We know, his agent is a very, vocal agent, but that's
he's a loser.
I thought you were about to call him a douchebag.
No.
He is a loser.
Yeah, it's just the sense that I'm getting. If I felt like at the trade deadline this year, it was groundwork for what's going to happen in this next year, that he's got to ask for a trade, or we trade him, or, we're actually good and he stays here. And then if we have one shitty year, he's going to ask for a trade again. Like that's just the gut feeling I get. And by the way, he has not asked for a trade. I said trade again. He never asked for a trade, so I'm sorry.
Christian, you there?
Christian just freeze.
Oh.
I cut him off and it just broke his computer.
Oh, man. This is what happens when we record before 7 p.m.
Yeah. So this is the one of the... What the...
Idea what the hell that was.
It's one of
What
the few
the hell
times
happened?
there's natural light in my room.
It said...
People are like, these guys are awake during the day?
Yeah.
The thing just shut off on me, and it said, "Oh snap, out of memory." And I had to go back. So I'm hoping is my thing still uploading to the cloud? It says it's uploading.
I think we're good. I think we're good.
All right.
It's probably gonna happen to what happened when I left. Jonah's just gonna have to adjust the editing a little.
Yeah.
Well,
anyways, as you were saying.
Yeah, as I was saying, I'm all for trading JJ Peterka, if you have to. I'd rather you keep him on the team and sign him to a long-term deal than trade him. But Kevin Adams doesn't have he doesn't have the option of trading him for like spare parts. You have to package him with another guy. Like, dude, this is it. Your job's on the line. The guy, we hired a guy breathing down your neck. He's taking your job if you don't do something. Go out there and make a big boy trade.
I also I don't want. A part of me is like, absolutely do not let Kevin Adams make this trade. I don't want him making any major trade from now till the end of the kitchen. I'm saying I don't want him making any major core trade from now until Jarmo Kekalainen is inevitably named GM.
But what if this
Why is this guy even still around? Why is he even still around?
This could just be like Jarmo's trade. He could be basically.
Jarmo? They're gonna let Jarmo come in and make a major trade a month in?
I don't know. I'm just. For already writing off Kevin so much, and we're thinking Jarmo's gonna be the guy next year. Like, Jarmo's gonna have a say in this offseason's moves.
Terry Pegula's not gonna go 5 years of refusing outside NHL help and then just handing the key to the first guy he hires from the outside.
Why is Adams even still the GM if they brought this guy? I mean, I get it. He brought him in for an advisory role.
They're trying to assimilate him into the Pegula culture. That's what it is.
It's like, are we running a Make-A-Wish or something for this guy? He's been the GM for 5 years, and he hasn't gotten us over the hump. Who gets 5 years usually?
I think at the end of the day, my biggest issue with this whole Peterka talk is I don't think I'm willing to give him as much as he's probably going to get or he's asking for. Like, if it would be like a 7x7 right now or something like that, like, I think I would sign up for that. $6.5, $7 million, but I think he's going to get 8 or 8.5, and I don't think I'm for that.
They could have so easily had that last summer.
I agree with that.
So easily could have had that last year.
Could have gotten like a 6x6 or something.
Well, I know we never touched on it. So the bracket that Peterka would likely be offer sheeted at, it's $6.8 million to scratch that, $7 million to 9.3, and that's a first, a second, and a third. So if a team offer sheets him at 2 year, a part of me feels like Peterka would just be another Kokeniemi situation where maybe they just go nuts on a short-term offer sheet and then do a much more favorable contract afterwards. I don't know. Let's just say a team offered him 9.3. Are you taking those picks?
Well, isn't 9.3 above the threshold you just said?
It's 9.36.
Oh,
that's the. Yeah,
I think I would match in this range. I don't think the return. If it was 2 first, I think I would consider. But a first, second, and third really isn't much. Even though that's way outside the range I want to pay him.
Yeah, I'd probably match that too. But if they're going above 9.3, what is it if they go above 9.36? Isn't it 3 first rounders?
It's 2 firsts, a second, and a third. So you just get an additional.
I can't imagine a team will do
so
that.
unless a team offers JJ Peterka $11.4 million, in that situation you get 4 first-round picks. So I guess what if a team offers him 9.5? Is 2 firsts, a second, and a third? Is that enough?
I think it would
to say goodbye.
Yeah, it would be for me.
Well, if you're already going to offer him 9.3,
Christian's more fucking picks.
Is it two? Well, it's $200K more. We already did the 9.3. We said yes. I don't care. Sure, yeah, I'll keep him for 9.5. I think it would come down to what the term would be too.
Well, let's say full out. Let's say 8 by 9.5.
Oh.
To me, it's
or 7.9.5.
You get those 2 firsts back, and then that's ammo to trade for something. But at the same time,
okay. But if you're just going
to use those picks to trade for something, then just trade Peterka to trade for something.
Let's say it's a team I mean, there's no way they have the first round picks to offer sheet, right? Tampa can't do that. I don't know. Let's say it's Carolina. Carolina comes at you with a 8 by 9.5 or 7 by 9.5. So you're talking about a team that's usually at the back half of the first round. Do you really value their first round picks like that?
Nope. I would just match it.
I think it's a different conversation if a Chicago Blackhawks do it. Let's say they swing and miss on Marner and Ehlers, and like they just have a bad free agency and get desperate and do this. I feel like if a team if Chicago offer sheets you, oh man, that's tough. That's a tough call.
I don't know. It is a tough call, but that's someone out there smarter than me. You tell me what we should do. All right? If there's a Kevin Adams out there, tell us what to do.
People come to us.
I was gonna say
They want to hear our thoughts.
You know what? I'm going to someone else for once. Damn it! All right, I'm done with all the thinking.
This is the gig.
Well, I'm taking a vacation. I've had enough. I'm just joking.
I don't know.
I think if it was like a Chicago, I still think I would match. I don't know. I just have this idea in my head that instead of taking the capital, you just have Peterka on a deal, and then if you still want to trade him, as long as he doesn't fall off, that's your risk. You could still trade him because, I mean, you're taking on 4 risks anyway. The first-round picks, they don't pan out, and then also you're setting yourself back in the organization further. You're basically telegraphing that you might be going into a rebuild mode if you don't immediately try and trade those picks away.
I don't know.
I think it is interesting that quote unquote stuff is amplifying.
It's interesting.
Right now.
It's interesting that the Friedman report came out, and then apparently they've had a few offers that have actually piqued their interest a little bit.
Yeah,
it makes you wonder what teams are maybe willing to give up for him.
Yep.
Like if Tampa, I feel like if Tampa comes to you and says, we will trade him for Anthony Cirelli straight up, what do you do there?
What's Cirelli's contract right now?
It's low. I think it's like 5.5.
What about,
let me see.
His name has been thrown around a lot because this team is confirmed to be the only team selling. And I know there's already been mock trades.
8 by 6.25.
How many years left?
He's. Let me see. Next year will be year 3 of an 8-year deal. So
I'd do that swap.
I mean by
the
time that deal's over, he's making like $4.5 million.
Yeah.
You're losing some prime goal scoring touch, but you're gaining a physical aspect to your game that you might be missing from a lot of your roster.
You're gaining a very defensively capable centerman.
Yeah.
With cup and playoff experience.
Yeah, I'd take that.
I
would take that.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I think I will.
Because you're right. Like it's a big scoring touch gone. Now your top 6, very much. That's the whole thing with the Peterka conversation. If you don't get a very good forward back in that trade, you have to do extra work to beef up your top 6. Because otherwise, it's Tage Thompson, a 21-year-old, a 20-year-old, Josh Norris,
and
Alex Tuck.
Yep.
And then maybe Jason Zucker.
No, it's like you gotta.
Jesus.
The top 6 needs beefing up. We just need one. I'm saying we need one big fish winger in free agency.
And we're gonna have the conversation. I just know it because I just have a feeling that I feel like Peterka might be their only path to maybe going after a centerman. We're going to be done with free agency, and their top 2 centers are still going to be Josh Norris and Yuri Kulik, and I'm just going to not – that's just not going to be okay. I mean, Tage Thompson should be playing center for this hockey team, but whatever. We're not going to litigate that till the time's right. I don't want to jump on that when it's not necessary because you also don't know. You also have no idea. Still.
Yeah, it could be just because of the wrist injury. Like I know that Lindy Ruff liked playing him at wing, but he was dealing with that nagging wrist injury with the face-off stuff or groin. It was either groin or wrist. But but he could be back. I mean,
I don't know. We'll see. My point is, or I think I interrupted JP.
Yeah,
anyways.
I was just gonna say his name has kind of already been confirmed to be out there. Ricard Raquel from the Penguins.
For Peterka, no, you can't do that.
I didn't think so.
I would
but,
hate
like,
that. I would
know
hate
he's
that.
already-
I would hate that.
He's already been kind of known to be out there. A team that we know
He's a
selling.
he's a great player, but he's also, I mean, next year could be the decline year.
It's fair.
Would not do that.
Or-
The Penguins, I don't even know they would have. I don't even know what they have that would be attractive to like add on to that.
I think I already know the answer to this one too, but his name's kind of been out there. Is Lafreniere?
no.
Still no.
Yeah, I knew
No.
that'd be the answer, but that's another name that might be out there. If you're doing a hockey trade, I think these are the realistic names at the end of the
Well,
day.
we talked about how like a big core swap of Byram and Peterka for Lafreniere and Keandre Miller as like a basis for a big deal. Like that could be something, but at the end of the day, the Rangers are still getting the best player, and I just don't want to do that with Peterka.
Yep.
I would like to aim higher, or like Anthony Cirelli's a name that that invites debate about who's better. And I feel like every name that you've thrown at me so far, like even Marco Rossi, I feel like I was more interested in that name a month ago, but now I'm kind of like, I don't know, I still feel like Peterka's the better player. I don't know.